Brain scanners, baby. That's where we at. Surveillance state. For nothing is hid, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. Luke 8:17. That was actually Jesus. Well, according to the scriptures, when it's written and read, it's supposed to be Jesus. Something else that they told us. For nothing is hid that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that for nothing is secret. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest. In the other scripture it says for nothing is hid, but it's all the same. I think in Matthew it says that. For nothing is hid, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. And right now we are in that information age right now. So you're really basically without excuse if you don't know what's going on. It's your fault because it's in the prophecy in the Bible for all you Christian out here. You know what I mean? There's nothing hid. There's nothing secret that shall not be made manifest. All the secrets is coming out. And we're right here in this day and time. So if you left behind, it's your fucking fault. Here we go. All right. As I sit and write this chapter, I can clearly see that the summer of 2013 will clearly be known in the future as the summer of our discontent. Proudly, we elected our first African-American president to symbolize our rise above our racist past, believing wholeheartedly his promises of change and transparency in government. White guilt, black pride, and a politically ignorant public. You notice he said ignorant. White guilt, black pride, and a politically ignorant public brought the least qualified person to the White House that our nation has ever seen. Barack Obama, or should I say Barry Soetoro, and his band of corrupt Chicago cronies hoodwinked the people not once, but twice in his election to the presidency of the United States. His promises of government transparency and protection of individual privacy was campaign rhetoric at best and well-planned lies at worst. The summer of 2013 will see his administration embroiled in at least 5 controversial scandals that even the most liberal media outlets could not ignore. The year 2013 ushered in a new era when topics previously reserved for alternative news outlets of conspiracy theory websites suddenly appeared in newspapers, websites, and television news shows of mainstream media. Now, backing it up real quick. You notice how he said, white guilt, black pride. That's what the beast is using. They use your emotions. White people are guilty for what their ancestors, what their predecessors did to black people. Black people just got so much damn pride. You know what I'm saying? We got our pride is big. Most of them are just dumb and don't know shit. And then when you hear what he says, he says white guilt, black pride, and a politically ignorant public. Ignorant public. Motherfuckers don't know shit. What is the word of ignorant? Ignorant means uninformed. That's what ignorant means. You don't know nothing. White guilt, black pride, and a politically ignorant public brought the least qualified person to the White House that our nation has ever seen. Barack Obama. You know what I'm saying? So let me go on back and start back up here. I mean, because I want to get to the point. I want to get some meat. As congressional hearings about Operation Fast and Fury, the IRS targeting enemies of the Democratic Party, the Benghazi attack, and Department of Justice seizure of press phone records are ongoing. Another bombshell is dropped by the Guardian news outlet in the UK. Reporter Glenn Greenwald citing insider information from a whistleblower, exposes a vast corrupt system of surveillance by the NSA. Do y'all see this? Hold up. All right. A system of surveillance by the NSA in the United States and abroad. United States and abroad. All over. Edward Snowden, a 29-year-old young buck who was, he ain't say young buck though, a 29-year-old who has subcontracted by the NSA and CIA through private companies like Booz Allen, Hamilton, and Dell, decided it was his moral obligation to expose the extent of full spectrum surveillance happening with the NSA, according to Snowden. My sole motive is to inform the public as to that which is done in their name and that which is done against them. He is currently in hiding, Edward Snowden. He is currently in hiding, as much as one can hide, in Hong Kong, awaiting further extradition proceedings or an attempted CIA rendition. Now, he's not in. This book is kind of old. He's not in Hong Kong right now. I think he's somewhere in Russia. I don't know where he at, but he ain't over here in America. He better not bring his ass over here. He'd be gang stalked just like us. They're gonna chop his head off. Mr. Snowden was offered asylum in Russia prior to the release of his book. Mr. Snowden thought about coming forward with the information much earlier, but with the election of Barack Obama, he believed the promises that privacy reforms would be enacted and held back from any exposure. After witnessing the Obama administration prosecute whistleblowers at a historically unprecedented rate, he decided to come forward. One may view President Bush as having a snap the football to the holder when he passed the Patriot Act. President Obama kicked it hard and fast through the upright. So they're all in the games. When people be like, "Oh man, but Obama was the worst president," or "No, Bush was the worst president," no, this, like, look, they all fucked up. They all playing the same game. I'm really shocked that the mainstream media has reacted with such shock that the NSA is surveilling its own citizens. It's right here, y'all. I'm not making it up. It's surveilling its own. I mean, it's fucking cameras you go outside, there's cameras everywhere. Like, how the hell? What the fuck is wrong with y'all people? NSA is surveilling its own citizens with such full spectrum surveillance. Hold up. I'm really shocked that the mainstream media has reacted with such shock that the NSA is surveilling its own citizens with such full spectrum surveillance. Targeted individuals have known this for quite some time. Can I get a hello there? You know what I'm saying? Targeted individuals have known this for quite some time. Have known what? Have known what, D? That we're being surveilled, you fool. Targeted individuals have known this for quite some time, collected into human rights organizations and petitions through petitioning human rights. Hold up. Target individuals have known this for quite some time, collecting into human rights organizations and petitioning their respective Congress people, as well as the responsible agencies for exposure. Wow. Pseudonyms like Boundless Informant, the tool for cataloging data obtained by NSA. That's what it's all about, y'all. That fucking data. Of Apple, Google, and Facebook are recent terms we've known about for some time. The current debacle within the NSA involves real-time collection of cell phone data from Verizon. But don't think you're safe with AT&T. Reporter James Bamford, in his book entitled The Shadow Factory, that was published in 2008 described in detail how AT&T allowed the NSA to install surveillance equipment, I'm up here trying to get y'all to see, and then I lose where I'm at. Hold up. Install surveillance equipment attached to its fiber optic splitting system at 611 Folsom Street in San Francisco. As far back as 2006, citing insider information, I repeatedly mentioned the connection between Facebook, Google, and NQTEL. NQTEL is a nonprofit venture capital firm formed by the CIA in '99, tasked with delivering technology to the intelligence community. The biggest hoax ever perpetuated on the public was fostering their dependence on Google and Facebook, two of the most powerful data mining tools ever conceived by the government and passed off as completely private sector entities. Y'all hear that shit? That's the biggest hoax. The biggest hoax ever perpetuated on the public was fostering their dependence on Google and Facebook. We are so reliant on this shit. You know what I'm saying? And we just put all our business out there. Fostering their dependence on Google and Facebook, two of the most powerful data mining tools ever conceived by the government and passed off as completely private sector entities. That's what they told you. You think it's private. Alarmingly, the usual suspects have come to the defense of the NSA, citing national security and the war on terrorism as justification for full spectrum surveillance on the public. Full spectrum surveillance on the public. Everything that they gave you is not for your own good. Mike Rogers, chairman of the House of Intelligence Committee, Diana, Senate Intelligence Community Chair, and President Obama have all come to the defense of the NSA and called for Snowden's prosecution for leaking information. That, you know what I'm saying? And they mad at, you know what I'm saying? They mad at Snowden. I mean, this is like the movie Toby Frost, yo. What's that? Safe House with Denzel Washington. If you've ever seen that before, that's how it is. You know, that's what Toby Frost. We like the Toby Frost out here. You the Edward Snowden. You know what I mean? If you never seen Safe House with Denzel Washington, go check that out. You know what I mean? That's what we are. You are Toby Frost. If you being gangster, if you a targeted individual, you are Toby Frost. You are Edward Snowden. It says Obama have all come to the defense of the NSA and called for Snowden's prosecution for leaking information. The mainstream media is somewhat mixed on perception of Snowden. Some following Obama's lead and calling him a traitor. Others viewing him as a patriotic hero. Either way, the smear campaign has begun with government officials questioning the validity of his claims. What did it say? Smear campaign. That's what they do. Edward Snowden was being gang stalked. They gang stalked his ass. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't supposed, because it's even different from him. Because he sworn, you sworn to be in secrecy, and then he went against the grain. We ain't swore shit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't swearing nothing. So why they gang stalking me? You know what I mean? The smear campaign has begun with government officials questioning the validity of his claim. All right. They are mostly citing his lack of formal education as the determining factor about the extent of his true knowledge of these surveillance programs. That's what we're in, y'all. We're in the surveillance program. However, this is meant to mislead the public. In actuality, intelligence agencies actively seek out savant loners with limited family connections as agents. Y'all hear that? Especially if they have exceptional self-taught computer skills So it says savant loners, huh? Savant loners. That's what they look. That's what they look for, right? With limited family connections as agents, especially if they have exceptional self-taught computer skills. The other misleading comment that government officials have made regarding Snowden's exposure is that it puts the U.S. at greater risk for terrorist attack by letting terrorists know how our surveillance operates. That's bullshit. Yeah, right. Y'all the terrorists. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to fuck us up with y'all. I mean, you see, that's how they mislead the dummies. Just like how they got on with 9/11. You know what I mean? Told us about some terror, and they the one, you go ahead and do the research. If you don't know about the 9/11, if you don't know the truth about that, I don't know where you've been at. Snowden's exposure is that look, it says the other misleading comment that government officials have made regarding Snowden's exposure is that it puts the U.S. at greater risk for terrorist attack by letting terrorists know how our surveillance operates. Man, get the fuck out of here. That's what they trying to say. Oh man, Snowden should have never told, man, because now you don't let the terrorists know, man, and how we operate, man. You know what I'm saying? And now the terrorists gonna come fuck us up, man. Get the hell out of here. You surveilling us. It ain't no terrorists. You the terrorists. You the Edward Snowden. You the Toby Frost. Know what I'm saying? Bobby Hemmings said in this video, he said, you are the bad guy. Look at Enemy of the State. They made Will Smith the bad guy. He was a damn attorney. How did he become the bad guy? You are the Toby Frost. Let me move on. Letting terrorists know something. Okay. Any terrorist worth his salt. Any terrorist worth his salt is already well aware of surveillance methods. For instance, terror networks in Afghanistan passes information between individuals using written notes carried by runners who are mostly children. Their jihadist websites are mostly filled with diversional information so as not to have a digital trail. Our surveillance methods have prevented few, if any, terrorist attacks, including the latest Boston Marathon bombing, despite a Russia warning about the two brothers who perpetrated it. Obviously, the counter-surveillance apparatus within the United States government is meant to watch us, not protect us, or prevent any type of terrorist attack. Y'all hear that? Obviously, the counter-surveillance apparatus within the United States government is meant to watch us, not protect us, or prevent any type of terrorist attack. Because if that was so, then why shit keep happening? Why people out here dying all the time, getting shot and killed? You know what I'm saying? We're not protected. So what is these cameras for? Just so they can watch your ass get killed. That's what the cameras for out there on the corners. They got cameras everywhere. It don't mean nothing. You know, these people out here really think that the cameras really protect your ass. Let me move on. All right. Yeah. Obviously, the counter surveillance apparatus within the United States government is meant to watch us, not protect us or prevent any type of terrorist attack. I believe that the PRISM and Boundless Informant programs are intimately linked to the electronic harassment and experimentation being currently perpetuated on the public. On the public. Let me read that one more time. I believe that the PRISM and Boundless Informant programs are intimately linked to the electronic harassment and experimentation. You are a guinea pig. That's the name of this book, Guinea Pigs. John Hall, go get yourself a copy. If, like I said, if you don't know what's going on, it's your fault. Your experimentation being currently perpetuated on the public. PRISM and Boundless Informant programs are intimately linked to the electronic harassment and experimentation being done on the public. As more information is leaked, we will see eventually the PRISM and Boundless Informant are merely the surveillance tentacles of a larger hydra that is more akin to a weapon system rather than tools for solely observing our actions. Observing our action. The breaking news about the NSA comes as no surprise to many victims of electronic harassment. They've been under full spectrum surveillance for a full decade or longer in many cases. Reports of email tampering, computer hacking, mail tampering, cell phone spoofing are fairly standard complaints among the myriad of other intrusions that targeted individuals describe. The amount of time, energy, and money that the United States has invested. Y'all think I'm trying to show y'all this shit. The United States has invested in novel ways to digitally track. Let me turn the page. I'm about to catch the Holy Ghost. Digitally track the citizens of United States is mind-boggling. You damn right it is. Especially when you in the program. You can't believe it. I'm rewind that back just in case y'all missed it. It says the amount of time, energy, and money that the United States government has invested in novel ways to digitally track the citizens of the United States is mind-boggling. They using the taxpayers' dollars. The dummies don't even care. In the short time between the publishing of my book, A New Breed. Now, I never got this book yet. I ain't get this book, The New Breed. But I heard it was a good read too. Go get it, y'all. Somebody else go get the book and y'all read it to me. A New Breed. And this one, there have been countless new developments aimed at perfecting the surveillance state. Aimed at perfecting. They're still trying to perfect this. Wait. Perfecting the surveillance state. They're trying to perfect this shit. If they're not already perfected. Some of these include the inclusion of facial recognition software on Facebook. Now we already know that's old news. You've seen Tom Cruise movie, Minority Report. If you haven't, go check that out. As a matter of fact, I need to go check it out again because it's been years since I've seen it, but I know what it's about. They've been showing you the facial recognition in that. Border Patrol, that use voice pattern software to monitor pitch and quality, along with infrared cameras that monitor the eye movement and pupil dilatation to detect liars. Or is it delitation? Maybe it's delitation. The current research on deep sea drones used for intelligence surveillance. Let me see. Let me move on down. In contested waters called the Upward Falling Payloads Program, the fielding of cognitive technology threat warning system that are binoculars that function off the soldiers' brain waves to access threat detection. The EEG interactive binoculars since the P30 brainwave signal involved the stimulus evaluation and categorization before the soldier has even processed the situation. They just talking about the technology that they have. NSA ability to lock into surveillance cameras in stores and computers and in phones using remote administration tools. RATs, they call it RATs, remote administration tools, allowing your home electronic devices to be used as spy tools. The use of millimeter waves sensors in airports. In airports, allowing TSA agents to see passengers' naked bodies as they pass through security. Y'all see that shit? You know what I'm saying? When you go to the you catching a flight, man. Then you walk through them damn machines, man. They seen your whole genital. They seen everything. Allowing look the use of millimeter wave sensors in airports, allowing TSA agents to see passengers' naked bodies as they pass through security. You know what I mean? What's that? The radar unit that miniaturized millimeter wave scanners down to the size of cigarette box. The FBI mission of using domestic drones in a recent comment by FBI Director Robert blah 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 blah. Let me go move on. Like I said, man, it's so much, man. It's so much. I want to get straight to the point. I want to. Let me just get through some stuff. I want to.
It's not the first step to the surveillance society. It is the surveillance society. That's a law that lets the government